So welcome everyone. We will have a basic fascia treatment today for the legs, and we do need some equipment for this. You do need a ball. This can be a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. We do need a peanut ball, which can also be 2 balls in a sock if you don't have one, and a foam roller. If you don't have one, you can also replace this one by a rolling pin out of your kitchen. Should also work fine. We're gonna start with the ball and with the treatment of our feet. So we start in standing, put the ball on the ground, and we start in the back part under our heels, and we start with going through different points. Take like 3 seconds to go in, hold for a moment, and you go out of this point in 3 seconds. And then you work towards your toes, stepping in and out of the ball. And then you go over to the inside of your foot sole, and from there you start going backwards, pushing in different single points to start with. And when you're back on your heel, you go through the midline up again towards your toes. So we had first the outer edges of the feet, and now we work on the inside part. And then you can, from the front, roll over the whole foot, rolling over the ball, starting from your toes, going all the way back to your heel, and through the different parts of your foot sole. And then we go over to the other side. Start again underneath the heel, and slowly walking forward. Three seconds in, 3 seconds out, and then to the outer edge of your foot. Underneath our feet, we have the thickest fascial structure in our body. We often forget about our feet and to treat them, but actually they have to do a lot of work all the time. We're walking around on them, we are running, we're basically doing all our activities on the feet. And when you're back at your heel, you start again going through the midline towards the toes. And when you find points which are more painful than others, stay a bit longer on them. And go for deep breaths. And wait a moment before you continue. And also here you start rolling over the ball then with the whole foot. You can vary here how much pressure you give in the ball, how much weight you give in there, also depending on the consistency of your ball, how hard it is. You can see mine is pretty soft, pretty flexible, so I'm really pushing in there. But when you have a lacrosse ball, for example, you might want to be a bit more careful. All right. So we're gonna continue with our calves. So sit down on your mat, and for that we can either take the foam roller, or I also like to treat my calves to take the peanut ball. And you place it underneath your calf, starting a bit over your ankle, and from there rolling up, and before you reach the backside of your knee, you go back down. Go with a steady and slow speed. And we go for each rolls. We're gonna do around 7 or 8 repetitions going up and down. Always try to take the whole way, but do not roll over joints. You can put, if you want, you can put some extra weight in putting your other leg over the one you are rolling on. And then we go over for the other side. So you have your weight on your hands so that you can easily roll forward and backwards. And also here we go for 7 or 8 repetitions. And I will, so for each area we're gonna roll, as I said, we will have around 7 to 8 repetitions, and I will use the time we spent rolling to talk a bit about the fascia tissue and what it is functioning for. So it is a connective tissue which surrounds a lot of structures in the anatomy of our bodies. So these were the calves, and then we take the foam roller to start with the back side of our thighs. Again, you bring the weight on your hands, and from there you can start rolling up and back. You stop a bit before your knee again, and you can vary the weight you want to pressure in here. If you want to increase it, like I'm doing it here, you can bring your legs over each other, then you have more weight coming on the roll. And you can vary also a bit in the angle you take here. So yeah, the fascia is a tissue which connects structures in our bodies, all the passive structures, swap side, like bones and ligaments and tendons, but also our active structures, our muscles. So our muscles consist out of plenty single muscle strings which work together, and each of these strings is surrounded by fascia tissue. So they are kind of co-workers, and the consistency of the one structure does immediately also affect the other one. So a healthy fascia tissue is essential for good functioning muscles, and so also for your athletic performance. So we are done here, and we swap to the side then. Put the roll on the outside of your thigh, and you can put the other leg in front of you so you have control over how much weight you put in here. And this part you should be a bit careful. You're not on the roll like in a 90-degree angle, because there you would reach directly your IT band, running from your knee to your hip. This is not where we exactly want to go to. We want to work on the muscles. So you more have like a 45 degree angle towards the foam roller to reach the muscle called vastus lateralis, which runs over your knee. And yeah, you will feel the difference between the, try to change a bit, play a bit around in the angles. And don't have a 90-degree angle directly to the, on your side. So we swap again position, go to the front part of our thighs. You have the other leg bent, so you can push yourself backwards, forward. Also here, if you want to add more weight on the roller, you could take your left leg putting over the right leg to increase the impact. So, and why are we doing all this? The fascia tissue easily gets kind of sticky and clumpy and tight. And as athletes, we often basically overuse our muscles. Okay, we swap position again and go for, I swap sides so you can better see it. We want to go for the inside part of our thighs. So I put the roll in a 90-degree towards me. And then I come down again and place my inner thigh on the roll. I have my leg bent, put the weight on my elbows, and from there I can roll back and forth. Yeah, as athletes, we kind of put constant repetitive stresses on our body, and this often results in what feels like tight muscles or like small knots in our muscles. And this is often connected to a sticky fascia structure. And what we do when we, for example, do this rolling here, we want to change the consistency of this tissue. I often have the image of wringing out a sponge. And while we do it, we increase the blood flow, which brings us a faster recovery of the muscles. Okay, we swap side again, and we want to go for the glutes now. So I'm sitting on the roll, and I bend my one leg, bring it over the other, and then I can reach my glutes rolling over it. You can also here, you can vary a bit in your angle, and you will reach different parts of your muscle. And I know a lot of martial artists who have problems with their hips from all the hip rotation movements, and who really have feel benefits from doing this rolling in this part of the body. So you swap the side, go for the left side. So with the rolling, we can decrease pain in damaged or overworked muscles. We can increase our range of motion in the joints. So it's also a prevention or a treatment of dysfunctions and imbalances you have in your body. And get out of it. And we go again for the side part on the left side. Remember again, not going on it in a 90-degree angle, more in a 45. You will probably, when you go in a 90-degree angle, you will probably feel a lot of pain. There's, as I said, the IT band is running there, and especially when you are running a lot, for example, this is an area where there is a lot of tension. But we will have more benefits rolling through the muscles next to the band than rolling the band itself. And then get out of it. And also on this side, go to the front. And also here, take all the way, really going all the way down to your knee, but not over the knee, and all the way up to your hip. So we can work on the consistency of the fascia tissue not only by rolling. This is I find it a very efficient way, but also in mobility exercises and stretching. We are basically working on the fascia tissue too. So there are different ways how to work on that. So you will feel sometimes you need to rearrange your position a bit to get the whole way. But make sure to go for your 8 reps. All right. Get out of it and then place the roll in front of you that you can put your inner thigh on it. And start again. When you have a feeling it's too painful, there's too much pressure on it, you can always put more weight on your arms, on your elbows to lighten it a bit. All right, and then we are done. And 20 minutes we worked on all parts of our legs and the feet.